If you're thinking divorce can be tough, you're in the right space. Because it's not about just being in that moment, it's about what you do next that really matters. And that's what we're going to talk about today. There's two things that you need to get through divorce, and we'll talk all about that in the next couple minutes. But before we do, I wanted to mention below is the 7-day course, a 7-day divorce challenge. If you're feeling stuck, if you're lost in all of it, the 7-day challenge is the way forward. It's your way out of the fog of divorce. It's your way to move forward. It'll teach you new tools, new thought processes, and it will take you out of that challenging space that can be an unhealthy routine. But more on that later. Let's get back to the content at hand. And today, we're talking about two things that every man needs to gain strength and wisdom and become the man they've always wanted to be after divorce. Now, what are those two things? Pretty simple. Things you may already have, maybe just not tilted in the same or the right direction. Step one, or the first thing that we should talk about, is consistency. Consistency, like most things in life, is key. You can't really achieve or accomplish anything without consistency. You can't build a house, you can't maintain a job, you can't maintain a relationship without consistency. Now, consistency in a man's perspective and a woman's perspective is different. We have to understand that. Not in today's video that we're going to dive in, but if you stick around, like, comment, and subscribe, you'll see more of this comment. These comments and topics like understanding the difference between consistency for a man and a woman, that will help key you into becoming and achieving exactly what you want in life. So, consistency. What is it and why is it important? Consistency is your willingness and ability to show up no matter what. And that could be the sun's in your face while you're shooting a video. You're gonna still continue to shoot because you're consistent. It could be you've had a hard day, divorce negotiations have been rough, maybe you lost the ability to maintain something that was really important to you. Could have been more time with the kids, could have been finances, it could have been a house that you really cared for and loved. Whatever it may be, when we're going through those challenging times in divorce, we need consistency, the ability to show up no matter if we feel good or feel bad, to really, move forward and move forward accordingly. So that applies to time with your kids too. If you're a father out there, you know how important it is, even if you're tired, to have patience, to have kindness, and to show up with love for your kids no matter what. So if you're going through divorce, you need consistency. Pretty straightforward. Number two thing that you need is something that we don't often think of from a man's perspective or as a man. And maybe you do, but I certainly didn't. So I hope you're better off than I am. But that thing is really simple. And once you learn how to give yourself this consistently, the world opens up. It becomes your oyster. And you become unstoppable. What is that one thing, you might be asking? It's grace. What is grace? It's kind of an interesting word. You may have heard it before if you went to church. You may have heard it having a female friend with that name. Grace is something that we often don't think about as a man, like we talked about before. And grace is your ability to give yourself a break, more or less, right? So you missed a day at the gym, you had an off day at work, you were short and abrupt with someone that you care for and you love in your life. Grace is your ability to get back up no matter what the challenge was and to continue forward. It's kind of like consistency, but without being hard on yourself, right? So why is that important? Well, because we often don't think about the fact that we are human as men. We don't really give ourselves the chance for grace at any point in time. It's something that you have to learn. Something that you have to learn, that your body needs rest at times. It's knowing when to rest and when to push is important. If we push all the time, we break down. We lose focus, we lose sight, and we become unsuccessful in our objective. So grace is probably one of the most important, if not the most important part of divorce recovery, because it's something that you got to practice really to understand and practice to get good at. I know for me, it took a long time to get some grace in my life, and I'm happy to have it now because it's important. It's important to not beat yourself up on those days that you don't achieve what you set out to. But it's important also to have that consistency and come back again, whether it's tomorrow or in a couple hours, and get back at it. So you can still be a strong male and have grace, because consistency will have you standing back up and trying again. Grace is basically the understanding that you're human. There are some times where you need limits in your life to move forward. So if we have these two things, consistency and grace in our life, our divorce recovery can be a joy, actually, eventually. It's not going to feel like that initially out the gate, I guarantee you that. But over a period of time, you will learn to show up for yourself, to show up for the ones that you love and care for, to cut the ones out of your life that you don't need and don't serve you, and become the man that you've always wanted and always knew you were and you can be.